good people. Hey, listen, don't you scroll by this. Hey, you see me talking to you. Don't you scroll by this. Come on in. Hey, I'm talking to you. Don't you scroll by this. Come on in. Come on in. Happy Sunday to you. See, listen, yesterday we all celebrated Independence Day, right? Right. I know we did. We turned up. Hope you guys had a great time, right? Fireworks, right? Family, food, right? Friends, just a great time, right? But let me ask you a serious question on today, the day after Independence Day. Are you really free? See, and when I say free, I'm not talking political freedom, good people. I'm not talking legal freedom, good people, right? No, I'm not even talking religious freedom, good people, right? I'm talking mental freedom. I'm talking emotional freedom, right? I'm talking financial freedom, spiritual freedom, identity freedom, relational freedom. See, because here's the deal. Some of y'all are driving it, some of y'all are living in it, right? Some of y'all are vacationing to it, right? Some of y'all are spending it and still ain't free. Some of y'all then left the relationship, still ain't free. Some of y'all then switched careers and jobs, still ain't free. So today in this episode, we gonna talk about it, right? Why sometimes you can be celebrating external freedom, but still enslaved to subconscious programming internally. And that's what this episode is about today. So, welcome back to another episode of the Soul Truth Sunday. Yeah, I'm your host, FL, founder of the Dare to Be You Network, where identity meets nervous system. And this is the Soul Truth Sunday show, where we slow things down, recognize our patterns, right? We regulate our body through those emotions, get a new revelation on what to do different, build a rhythm around that revelation, and put it on repeat mode so you can dare to be you and tell your soul truth, good people. Man, I'm excited about this episode today, talking about real freedom, because so many people are living their lives and they're still bound. They're still tied up, right? By the subconscious programming, even though they think they're moving the way they want to move, even though they think they're living the way they want to live, internally, they're still trapped by the program. And I'm going to show you how to make that shift by the end of this episode. So tap in with your boy, man. So listen, man, listen. Before we get started, this show sponsored by Hands to Guide You Behavioral Health and Dr. Larry Ford, my good friend. If you're looking for counseling, behavioral health evaluations, ADHD evaluations, neurofeedback, brain mapping, or trauma-informed care, visit h2gy.com. Their mission is simple, good people. Improve the way the world experiences healthcare. Check them out and tell them FL sent you. Dr. Ford normally joins me on the first Sunday today, but he takes vacation with his family every year. So next Sunday, we'll be in clinic and I'll be with Dr. Ford, so you don't want to miss that episode. Come on, let's jump right into it right now. Are you free? Are you free, good people? Listen, I want to start with part one. Recognize, what is freedom? That's what I wrote down here. So if you see me look down and look back up, y'all know, man, I'm a note taker. What is freedom? See, most people define freedom by external things, right? No bosses, more money, more time, right? No debt, right? But check this out. You can have more time and still mismanage it. You can have no bosses and still not be productive, right? right? Stay with me on this, right? You can have no debt and still don't manage your money, right? So when I say freedom, I'm not talking about externally. When I say freedom, freedom to me, real freedom, is your ability to make a conscious decision in the moment, right? And not make an unconscious reaction in the moment based off survival patterns. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. Freedom is the ability to make a conscious decision in real time instead of an unconscious reaction from an old survival pattern in real time. Freedom ain't doing what you want. Freedom is being able to stay conscious in the moments that used to control you. That's real freedom, good people. So listen, let me ask you this. So what do you mean? So what do I mean by the moments that used to control you? When your money gets low and when your money gets uncertain, do you still run the old pattern? Do you still attach the old story to it? right? Or are you free? Are you able to slow yourself down enough, recognize that pattern, and regulate? Okay. Or, okay, here's another example. When your spouse says something, does it still trigger you the same way? Are you able to slow yourself down, or do you escalate and just react? Just react off that trigger, right? Real freedom, pausing yourself, slowing yourself down. Another one, if you're an entrepreneur like me and wifey, right? When business gets slow or the weeks get slow, are you still running the same survival story with that? Or are you able to slow yourself down and make a conscious decision on how you want to respond to that? See, listen, I wrote this down. Real freedom says, I can feel the trigger. I can feel the trigger without becoming the trigger. Oh, we. I'm going to say that again. Real freedom says, I can feel the trigger without becoming the trigger. So I got a question for you today, for the community, right? Where are you still reactive at? That's what I wrote down. Where are you still reactive at? Where are you still feeling the most triggers at? Is it in your marriage, your parenting? Is it in your money? Is it in your identity, your business? See, because here's the thing I want you to see before I get to the next point. Wherever you're the most reactive at, that's the part of your life where you're least free at. Okay, let me say it again. Let me say it again. Wherever you're most reactive at, that's the part of your life where you're still bound at. That's the part of your life where you haven't recognized what's still having you tied up. If you're constantly reactive in those areas, right? Because listen, you can't change what you what you don't recognize, right? So if you're constantly reacting to your money, if you're constantly reacting in your parenting, if you're constantly reacting to your spouse, then that's the area that you need to free yourself in, right? Because you're still tied up. Okay, listen, let's get to this part two. Regulate, right? So now that you didn't recognize it, how do you regulate it? So what I mean by regulate? So while most people aren't free, so I want to talk about the regulation part is the part that most people stay stuck at, right? I wrote this down. Most people aren't stuck mentally or psychologically, right? They're stuck biology. They're stuck in their biology. They're stuck biologically, is what I'm trying to say. Ooh, got tied tongue there for a minute. They're stuck biologically. They're stuck in their body, good people. See, because listen, people know what to do, right? If I asked you right now how to lose weight, if I asked you right now how to start that business, if I ask you right now how to be a better person, right? Or whatever it is, you can tell me mentally and psychologically what to do. If you needed to lose weight, you could tell me, oh, I need to eat cleaner. I need to drink more water. If you're trying to level up your money or trying to do something, you could tell, oh, yeah, I need to save a little bit more. I need to do this. Mentally and psychologically, people are not stuck. We know what to do because your mind understands, right? Your mind learns through logic and understanding. So you know what to do. You don't need more information. You don't need more knowledge. People are stuck in their body from a biological perspective, their body, because the body remembers the old experiences. So listen, I wrote this down. Your body learned survival, right? So most people get stuck in the body because the body learns differently than your mind, right? Your mind, logic, understanding, your body experiences in repetition. So listen, your nervous system will always prioritize familiar and comfort. So this is where most people get stuck, right? They know what to do, but their body remembers past experiences. Okay, listen. Let me say it like this. Does peace feel boring to you? That's because your body remembers something different, right? If your body remembers that movement is safety, if your body remembers that production or results equals worth, then watch this. Peace is always going to feel foreign to you because your body experienced something else until you retrain it. Okay, I got another one. Stillness, right? Do you feel like you always got to be moving? Do you feel like you always got to be doing something? Does this sound familiar? When everything on the outside is calm, everything on the outside is working, but you still feel like you got to be moving, doing something. Production, because you've tied your safety to production, right? High achievers normally do this, right? People that grow up in high performing environments like myself, right? Like yourself, high achievers, right? We can't sit still, right? And we always say, oh man, that's just how we are. No, that's a nervous system thing, good people. Your body learned that movement equals safety. So stillness doesn't feel safe to you. Sound familiar? Okay, here's another one. It's hard for you to rest. Every time you try to take rest, every time you try to pull back from doing something, right? You hear the story telling, oh, you lazy. You need to be doing this. You need to be doing that. That's a nervous system thing, good people. Regulating your body through that. Your mind knows, but your body learned through experiences, right? So now you got to retrain your body because it's always going to convert back to what's familiar and comfortable. Even, watch this, even if that familiar and comfort is not helping you, even if that familiar and comfort is not really serving you. Oh man, listen, y'all got to see this, good people. Y'all got to see this. Listen, so this is why some people self-sabotage healthy love. Sound familiar? You keep choosing the same type of people for relationships. And then you keep asking yourself, why am I choosing the same person? Self-sabotage your body. You consciously know what type of person you want, but you haven't retrained your body to that new level. That's where you're stuck at from a biological level, not psychologically, not mentally, right? Sounds familiar? Stable income, right? Y'all always hear me talk about compound income, transitional income, right? You trying to level up your income, but your body's still going haywire. You know what to do, right? But you haven't slowed your body down enough to work through those emotions, to ground yourself, to train your body to a different level of safety financially. So you keep self-sabotaging yourself. Man, good people, listen, I'm telling you this because you're not broken. You really have to understand your nervous system and how to slow your nervous system down and slow yourself down to ground yourself so you can really free yourself, right? So listen, I wrote this down. This is why people create problems in their own life. This is why people create drama in their own life, right? When everything is peaceful, if you haven't trained your nervous system to peace, you'll create the problem. If you haven't trained your nervous system to peace, you'll create the drama because that's what you feel safe with. That's what you feel comfortable with, right? That's what feels familiar to your nervous system, right? So some of y'all don't have a chaos problem, right? You just can't tolerate peace. Oh, wait, I'm gonna say that again. You can't tolerate peace, so you go out and create the drama, right? You can't tolerate abundance, so you go out and self-sabotage your abundance because your nervous system can't hold it. Or let me say it like this: you haven't built the capacity to hold it, right? Because if your nervous system is used to something and is trained in an area, it's your job to untrain it from that and train it to feel safe with a new level that you are desiring, right? So this, the question is, this is the question before we get to this part 3. Can you recognize and slow yourself down enough to regulate yourself through these pressure moments? That's the question, good people. Or else you're going to keep repeating the same patterns. Y'all heard me talk about it. You can be driving it and still repeating survival patterns. You can be living in it and still repeating survival patterns. You can be spending it and still repeating survival patterns. Survival patterns has nothing to do with external, what things look like on the outside. Survival patterns has everything to do with consciously making decisions to slow yourself down enough to respond to your life instead of react to your life. All right. Part 3, revelation, good people. Real freedom. So now the revelation is coming on what real freedom really is. Let me give me a drink real quick, man. So now the revelation is coming on what real freedom really is, right? So this is what I wrote down. Here's the revelation I want you to get. Real freedom is not the absence of triggers. Real freedom is consciously responding inside the trigger. I'm gonna say that one more time. Real freedom is not the absence of triggers. Man, you're gonna be triggered your whole life, right? Real freedom, it basically is not becoming the trigger. Let me say it that way, right? You can be triggered and not become the trigger because you become the observer at that point. You observe the trigger and then you consciously make a decision on how you're gonna respond to it. Awareness at another level. Yes, sir. Hands to God. You shout out to Dr. Ford, jumped on. Awareness at another level, baby. Yes, sir. Shout out to Dr. Ford. And listen, Dr. Ford is going to be joining me next Sunday, so make sure you tap into that episode. Dr. Ford just said awareness at another level. That's so true. That's so true. Live from Florida, baby. Live from Florida, baby. Live from Florida. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, so listen. Response. Real freedom is not the absence of triggers, good people. It's being able to respond inside the trigger. Can you slow yourself down enough and not become the trigger, right? Because listen, this is what I wrote down. Can I feel pressure without reverting back to my survival instinct? Oh, wait. Can I feel uncertainty without converting back to my survival instinct? Oh, wait. Can I feel doubt and fear without converting back to my survival instinct? Right? That's the new revelation, good people. That's the new revelation. Can you walk yourself through this with grace? Can you walk yourself through this with patience? Right? Instead of criticizing yourself, instead of beating up yourself, right? When your spouse is triggering you, can you slow yourself down enough to respond instead of react, right? When your money's looking funny in your business, right? And the money's not where you want it to be, can you slow yourself down enough to respond instead of spiral and react, right? Because listen, if your feelings control your decisions, you will never be free, good people. That's what I want you to hear on this revelation part. That's the new revelation, right? It's okay to feel what you feel. You just can't become the feeling because the feelings come and go. The feeling is just data, right? Can you slow yourself down enough not to be controlled by your feelings, right? Can you slow yourself down enough? That's the real revelation. All right. So listen, part 4, the freedom. I'm almost done, man. Drop your comments below. Comment below like Dr. Ford did. Listen, your comment might help somebody else. If you got a question, hey, we all getting free today, baby. No more shackles today. We free. So listen. So now that you got that revelation, now it's time to build that rhythm. So what rhythm am I talking about? What rhythm am I talking about? These are practices that you can build freedom, right? Because freedom requires a rhythm. Y'all hear me talk about structure system. Freedom requires a rhythm. So here's what helps me. So I'm just going to tell you what helps me in my rhythm, breath work, right? You can do breath work anytime, anywhere, right? 5 breaths in. So something real simple. You hold for 2 seconds. Blow out for 6 or 7. Breath work, getting in tune with your breath work, right? Giving your nervous system, right, a signal to your body, slowing your breathing down enough to where you actually get in tune with your breath, gives your body signal that I'm safe, right? This is the rhythm, right? Another rhythm, grounding yourself. You heard Dr. Ford talk about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. Well, another technique that I use for grounding yourself is just giving your nervous system facts, data. You hear me always talk about separating the story from the facts, right? So grounding yourself with the facts, with the truth about your situation, not the story. How do you know when you're telling yourself a story? Because the story always starts with what if? What if this don't happen? What if this don't happen? What if this, what if? What if? So every time you're talking to yourself, if you're always starting off with what if, that's the story, good people. Because facts and truth never start off with what if. They never start off with what if. Facts and truth always start off with this is what it is. This is where I am. This is what happened. This is what they said. Facts, truth. If you're starting off with what if, that's the story, good people. Another way you ground yourself, self-awareness. Self-awareness, like Dr. Ford said, self-awareness on another level. So what I mean by self-awareness, what am I feeling in this moment? And what story is driving this feeling? And what pattern is underneath the story? Self-awareness. What am I feeling in this moment? What story is driving the feeling? What story have I attached to this feeling? And what pattern is underneath this feeling? Right? Self-awareness, right? And then that question changes everything. When you start asking deeper questions like that about the pattern, what's driving it, that's changing everything. Another shift, identity work. Who am I right now? Core values, core beliefs, calling, gifting, purpose, and who am I becoming? Identity work. Dirty BU network, baby, where identity meets nervous system. So these are just some of the rhythms, right, that you can put in place so you can really create the freedom for your life, right? And it's not external freedom, good people. External things are good. I'm not ever downing external things, but when your emotional safety is tied to the external things, that means you're still bound, right? When your self-worth is tied to the external things, that means you're still bound, right? You cannot tie your worth, your identity to anything outside of you. That always comes from inside of you. And if you truly want real freedom, man, you got to understand your identity, good people. So listen, I'm going to say this. So if this episode has been hitting you on this episode, like it, share it with somebody, right? And if you got hidden patterns that you still need to recognize, good people, this is what my products are for. My one-on-one soul truth power session. I'll walk you through the 5R framework. I just kind of walk you through it here in this message, but I'll walk you through the 5R framework to help you recognize those hidden patterns. They help you regulate and then get you back on rhythm, man, so you can align with yourself. Or you might need to get your gift off the sideline and into the game. That's what my Use It or Lose It 6-part audio series plus matching workbook does. Or you might need to reset your money. My 21-day money reset regulation helps you do just that. Helps you reset your nervous system, right, to the new level of money that you said you want to make. So let me help you. Click the link or email me for your one-on-one soul truth power session, good people. So listen, I'm going to leave you with this. Most people think freedom is external. But like I just said, now freedom is all internally. And if you truly want to be free, you got to do what we talked about in this video. You got to ask yourself the deeper questions, right? You got to sit with yourself. You got to understand yourself on a whole nother level and then start walking yourself through that, regulating your body through those emotions, right? Getting a new revelation, right? Building a rhythm around that in real time and putting on repeat mode so you can dare to be you. That is the Soul Truth episode today, baby, of freedom. So if you ain't got any more questions, you ain't got any more comments, listen, I'm going to end it with this. How free are you today, good people? How free are you today? Right? I wrote this down. I got to find it, man. Y'all know I'm a note taker. I wrote this down before I get up out of here. So I'm going to ask you before we get up out of here. This is what I want you to ask yourself throughout the week and today. Where am I still not free? And be honest with yourself. That's the question of the week. Where am I still not free? And just be honest, right? Am I not free in my money? Am I not free in my relationships? Am I not free in my emotions? Am I not free in my spirit? right? Where are you not free? Because the area of your life that you got the most resistance in, that's the area of your life that you the most bound in. So listen, good people, sit with that this week. And remember, next week we're going to be in clinic. Dr. Larry Ford is going to be joining me next week. We're probably going to continue this conversation from a clinical dive. So you don't want to miss this conversation next week. And remember, every Tuesday at 2:30 p.m., brand new episode of The Married Life. Yeah, me and my boo thing. Yeah, we go deep. 27 years, baby. We give y'all the sauce, man. And comment. If there's a topic that you want us to talk about, if there's something you want to know about your relationship or what you're going through, comment. We'll make a video about it. We'll do a show about it. And remember, every Sunday, 9 a.m. Central, your boy, meet me here. Soul Truth Sunday, baby. We doing it. Y'all see the network we building out, baby. Dirty BU Network, where identity meets nervous system. I'm here every week, and I'm going to help you, man, really get down to your identity. I'm going to help you really stabilize those four legs of life so you can really align your life to who you really are so you can dirty be you, good people. So listen, ain't no more questions, ain't no more comments. Until next time, same bad channel. Happy Sunday to you. Hope everybody had a happy 4th of July. And remember, ask yourself, where am I still not free at? And be honest. And then start doing the work to get free. Dirty be you, baby. Happy Sunday.